Welcome to the iRacing Skip Barber series here on BSR TV. This is round 5 of season 6 from the Mazda Raceway at Laguna Seca. As always, me in the commentary box here, Chris Cohen, joined by Linus Brustrom this evening. Evening, Linus.
Hello, Chris.
Laguna Seca, the dry lagoon. Interesting choice of circuit here. It follows the official, obviously, and it's a fairly long circuit for the Skip Barbers. A lot of technical corners, and obviously we've got that famous corkscrew, which is going to be a challenge for these drivers, and another big grid to look forward to this evening. So let's go down and have a look at the scores before we do anything else. And here's how they stack up. Marcus Hamilton, after 4 rounds, has established a dominant lead in the championship. He's out in front for Friction Racing with 105 points over Wojtek Grabstein, who is in 2nd place for Racing Game Show, closely followed by Tom Watt, who's moving up the places very quickly. He's really established some kind of stability in this series after being in it for a little while, and he's really doing well now. He's joined that Friction Racing team. The other Wojtek Savidovic, is there in 4th place. So the top 4 places there occupied by just 2 teams, Friction Racing and Racing Game Show. And for me, Linus, that shows just how dominant those 2 teams are, and it's unusual after 4 rounds to see such a sort of grand lead by just 2 teams.
Yeah, they're 2 pretty strong teams with very good drivers, and if you have 1 or 2 good drivers in the team, it's easy for them to help the 3rd driver to become even better. So maybe we'll see a 3rd driver from the other team get up there as well soon.
George Wright in 5th place, Stuart Adcock 6th for Ninja Racing, Alex Gillen 7th place, Keith Sharp also another one moving up the scores pretty quickly in 8th, Zobspeed. Richard Avery, yet another driver, moved up 8 places from last time out, up to 9th. Martin Peck, the stealth assassin, is back, and he is commanding a 10th position, having not raced in every round this season. George Lambert, Jonathan Maycock, Clive Armstrong, Peter Cowan, James Child, and Rob Green. James Child and Rob Green actually sharing that 15th place, along with Robert Plumley, who is in absolutely everything. He should be the iRacing mascot, I feel, Linus, because he's just in every race. You join up at any random session and you're guaranteed to find him there.
Yeah, we got him in almost every race, I think, this year on BSR TV, so he's becoming a regular for us. And
he's got his own YouTube channel, A World of Kinduchi. I think that's how you say it. He is a prolific YouTube broadcaster as well, so once you're done with his footage, you can always go and check out his channel. Lots of Skip Barber action, touring car action, Sprint Cup action, lots of stuff on there. Dominic Brennan, after a very strong start, I haven't seen a lot of him. He's in 18th place. Jamie Bird 19th. Mark Mercer, only having participated in the first race of the season, is in 20th place. I wonder if he'll be making a return at any point during the season. And James Steele, 21st. Rich Jones, Graham Carroll, then a whole host of privateers. Phil Piercy, Chris Martin, the Coldplay frontman, of course, shares 25th with Marcus Narris, Clark Williams, Ollie Peacock, and then 29th, shared by a whole host of people on 4 points there. Ashley Blakely, Mark Hewitt, Mark O'Connell, and actually Alan Patterson, series organiser, didn't fit onto the... we've only got space for 32 drivers on the score sheets, so he is in 29th place along with these guys, but didn't quite fit. Team standings, just before we get down to the circuit, to get a look at how these guys are doing in qualifying. Friction Racing and Racing Game Show are just running away with it, absolutely running. 185 points, 164 points, I should say. And in 3rd place, Ninja Racing only have 54 points, Linus. So that's a huge gap. They've got 3 times the points of anyone else.
Yeah, they're the 2 best teams here by far, so they've pulled away big time now, having their best 2 drivers in the top 4, both of them.
Well, it might change, you never know, because PH Racing, who are currently in 10th place, only have points courtesy of Mark Mercer's first race of the season. He hasn't been in any of the others, and well, he is out on track actually, so that's some news, and he's doing quite well. We'll come to that in just a moment. Paul Grillo, his PH Racing teammate, hasn't competed in the series for a while, so no points from the other driver in that team. And, well, Martin Peck is back as well for GR, one of the GRs, GR Legends, GR Masters, one of the two. So we might see those guys rising through the standings. But there they are. 4th place shared by Club 100, the racing variety. There's 2 Club 100 teams in the top 13, and GR Legends. So the 2 GR teams doing pretty well, but not a patch on the top 2 teams there, Friction Racing, Racing Game Show. And Racing Game Show actually have their own YouTube channel as well, courtesy of Wojtek Savidovic, and he has a lot of footage of various different racing games. Shock horror, not just iRacing, there are other racing games out there. Probably shouldn't say that on an iRacing only channel, but never mind. Let's go down to the circuit, see how these guys are doing in the qualifying session. 20 minutes of qualifying here from Laguna Seca as always, and then we will be going down to the track to start the race, and that'll be about 30 minutes, whatever that works out in terms of laps. And there he is, the man himself, last season's champion, Mark Mercer. Is, well, he's doing pretty well. He is currently in 9th position in the qualifying. The position's up on your screen now, and Marcus Hamilton is absolutely dominating. He's 2/10 ahead of anyone else, even the Racing Game Show guys, so already establishing pretty good qualifying time there, Linus.
Yeah, he's set a good pace for this qualifying, and I think it's going to be hard for anyone else to beat him.
Now Fahim Antoniades, who is in 7th on the qualifying score sheet at the moment, as you can see there, he's been struggling this season. He has been in every race, but he is now outside the top 32 drivers. Well, the 33 drivers if you count the 4 guys in 29th place. And really just goes to show you have to have consistent results even if you're fast. Good to see Clark Williams back. He's in 6th place at the moment. Richard Avery doing a good job as well, only a second off the pace at the moment. And Clive Armstrong breaking into the top 10 as well. Now Simon Hulbert, the SS Racing driver, is in 4th at the moment. Good to see Simon back out on track. And as always, Liz, huge grid here. There are 39 drivers currently out there on the track, and it's going to make for an exciting start, at least, to the race.
Yeah, it's going to be cars everywhere and passes and battles going on all over the track at all times, so gonna have our work cut out for us during this race.
Now Laguna Seca, one of your favourites or one of your least favourites?
I'm not really a big fan of this track. I don't know why, but I guess it's the corkscrew. I never get that right, so I've never done many laps around this track.
And we're just going around a lap with 7th place Fahim Antoniades right now, and he has 2 of the Friction Racing boys in draft mode up in front of him, coming through turn number 4 now, and under the Mother's Bridge. He's going to stamp on the brakes and then turn in, get a nice... Whoa, there's a little bit of a slide there from Fahim. I was going to say he gets a nice apex there, but he doesn't at all, and then start the long climb. Start the long climb, just lets one of the Racing Game Show guys through, and then a little kink to the left just as we run up towards the corkscrew. Now that's a very difficult corner to get right, and now watch the braking point here. Car over to the left, aim it to the right, hit the curb, brake on the curb, and then turn in and out. And that's a very, very difficult corner in any kind of machine. This is a famous motorcycle track, of course, just as difficult on those, if not more so, as it is in these open wheelers. And then he's coming through the last part of the circuit now. You really need to get this last hairpin right, Linus, because it leads onto a huge straight, and if you don't, you're going to shed a lot of time there.
Yeah, you need to get it pretty good, otherwise if you run wide or get a bit sideways going off it, you're going to get passed by a few cars in the race.
And Antoniades, no improvement there, and no surprise because we saw that slide during his lap. So no improvement for a chap who really should be doing better than he is, and he'll be consciously aware of that in the championship, should be a lot higher up, but we'll see what he can do throughout this session. And there he is, Robert Plumley, driving for Team Castrol now, and he's the replacement driver for Dan Hunt, who didn't race this season in this particular series. Plumbers, as they call him, is in absolutely everything, as we've said. About 7 minutes of the qualifying session left right now, and the other Team Castrol driver is Steve Hefford, and Hefford is out on track as well somewhere, although I can't find him in the list. So, oh, maybe he's not. There he is. Should have predicted he'd be out there. 16th place right now, and another 72. Seems to drive the 72 no matter what he's in. And you've raced with him, Linus?
Yeah, I've raced him a few times, not had too many battles with him, so I don't really know what he's like as a driver, but I've been in some races with him.
And Daniel Kraft is out there on the circuit in 17th right now. A big slide, he's going to lose that one, and the back end goes round on him. And that is how the Skip Barber bites back. Those road tyres really not doing him any favours there. Haven't seen him out on track before though. Martin Peck, we've definitely seen Stealth Assassin out on track before, but he is back after a long gap, so good to have him back. And Martin, I don't know if he still does it, but he used to be a Skip Barber instructor, so you used to be able to go to him and get some tuition in this particular car to improve your lines, improve your braking zones, improve your lap times in general. And you should find out from him, I suppose, if he still does that, because well, people like me, I don't know about you, Linus, but people like me need as much instruction as they can get.
Yeah, I've got pretty good teammates for the races I do though, so I watch them or him run his lines and then just try and find my way around the tracks.
Marcus Hamilton still holds that pole position, although only by 0.05 over Savidovic now. Rapshin's dropped down to 5th, been overtaken by Mark Mercer and Simon Hulbert there. Tom Ward in 6th, Avery moves up to 7th, Peck down to 9th, and he'll want to improve on that for sure. And a whole load of familiar faces out there, and some new ones as well, as we've mentioned. Don't recall seeing Daniel Kraft out there on the track, but these guys, Dominic Brennan, new to this season's racing, hasn't competed in every round, but he's out there in 11th place, just outside the top 10 right now, and he was a very highly placed finisher in the Skip Barber big grid that they hold on what they call the week 13 at the end of every season, and he is very good when he's on top form. So hello to pitlanes.com in the YouTube comments, big smiley face there, thanks for that one. Any questions or comments or any other views or anything, you're welcome to put those in the YouTube comments while we're on air, or whether you're watching later on, and we can always get back to you. We'll read those out. About 4 minutes left, and we know, Linus, that Mark Mercer is a late charger in qualifying, but will he have what it takes to get on top of this grid, or will he be starting in 3rd?
I don't really know. I haven't seen any laps he's done, but if he's on his limit, I don't think there's going to be a chance for him to catch Marcus Hamilton, because he's been fast all day and all season.
We'll have to see. 4 minutes to go. Antoniades breaks back into the top 10 after being pushed out rather rudely by all the other drivers there. Mark O'Connell's out there on the track in 24th at the moment. He wants to pick up some more points to aid his championship campaign. Still keeping that bright pink livery on a Skip Barber. What do you think about that? Does it put you off seeing a pink car, or does it not bother you?
No, not really. It's nice to see a lot of different colors and not just having the regular red, white, black and blue cars.
How about if it had loads of flowers on and stuff like that? Would that put you off?
That would probably be a bit over the limit.
Aaron Gearing, 35th at the moment, so hoping to see a better lap time from him, but this is a tricky circuit. He is another competitor who crosses over into the touring cars on a Thursday on BSR TV. 3 races for the price of 1 in one evening as well, and you're a driver in that series as well. And how's your campaign going in the touring cars?
For myself, it's not going like I wanted it to, but I'm still in the top 10, I think, and for the team, we're only 28 points behind the Chrome restart now, so we're pushing to get 2nd championship in a row there. Still a long way to go.
2 team championships in a row, that would be a great achievement. As we're just watching Wojtek Savidovic, and he's another driver who made the crossover into the touring cars. He's new this season, but quite a fearsome driver in whatever he competes in, it seems.
Yeah, he's new to the touring cars as well this season, and he's been impressing me big time and got wins, and he's just a very fast driver. Seems to be a natural talent, really.
Mark Mercer still third, no improvement on his time. These guys will have until the time runs out. When the time runs out, they will be able to complete the lap they're currently on, and then that will be it. So that will be the final grid positions for this race. As always, Skip Barber brought to you by BSR TV. This is the, well, described by Justin Sutton as the best league he's ever had the pleasure of watching, which is quite a compliment. Run by Alan Patterson and a few of the other UK and I guys. Great league, great guys. Met some of them in person during our little karting meet that we had earlier this year, which was superb fun. Always nice to socialise in real life with some of these guys. Tell me, have you ever met up with any Swedish iRacing group guys?
I've got one friend that I've met before, but I was a friend with him before I joined iRacing, I think. And then I've got a friend in England as well who's an old racing friend who I've met.
So you don't sort of meet up at a beer hall with one of those big long tables and put on the hats with the horns on and talk about old stories of iRacing?
No, we don't. I don't have more than like one or two Swedish iRacing friends, I think. As I'm mostly a NASCAR driver, and that's more of US and that area.
Of course, yep. So a minute, we're in the final minute, and Mark Mercer takes pole position. Well, we said he was a late charger, and he has just proved exactly how late he's left it. That will be his penultimate lap. If these guys are going to respond, they need to do it now. Savidovic 600ths off, Hamilton 8,000th off. So Mark Mercer getting into pole position by the narrowest of margins. How does it make you feel as a driver when you're pipped at the post by that small a gap?
I don't think it's a very good feeling at all.
But
But
that's happened
I've
to
never
you
been
at
that close
the
to getting
finish
the
of a
pole.
race, hasn't it?
Yeah, it happened in the GTs at Daytona. I was running 6th, I think, and then I went to the outside to pass a guy on the last few inches, and I got him by 4 1,000s or something. Problem was there was a car behind me who passed us both and got me by 2 1,000s.
And that was the
That
second
didn't
race
feel
of the
really
evening
good.
at Daytona, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the last race of the day, but I had good fun at that track, so it didn't really bother me too much.
Well, all that footage is available on our YouTube channel as well, so feel free to check that out if you're looking for some close cockpit racing in the form of the GT cars. Ashley Blakely is out there. Oh dear, that's not a good point to to snap over to his particular view as he stacks it at turn 6 into the wall. That will be the end of his qualifying session. So 25th for Blakely, and the mid-pack's where it really gets competitive off the grid, where people have got to really watch out, Linus.
Yeah, if you look at the qualifying times, there are a lot of drivers with 38s and the 39s. So with 20 drivers separated by less than 2 seconds, so it's going to be a really good race this, I think.
I don't think Mercer is going to be challenged for pole unless Hamilton can do anything about this. Savidovic is out of the qualifying already, so third place will be the highest he gets. Avery's still going around, so he might well improve on his time, but let's have a look at Marcus Hamilton, current championship leader.
Avery just jumped up to 3rd.
So Avery's
By 1 1,000th of a second
Oh.
ahead of Wojciech.
Well, on our timing screen that's showing exactly the same time, although there is a 0.001 margin of error on our overlays, so that accounts for that. Somehow Avery is in there. Look at the effort he's putting in. That absolutely getting everything out of those tyres is going to be so tight at the top. Marcus Hamilton for pole position misses out by 0.3 of a second in the end. A few drivers still out there on circuit. Tim Adcock really struggling with this one. He's only managed 30th on the grid this time round, so that's a shame for him. He's going to have a lot of work to do. But we're going to go down to the grid any moment now, and could this be Mark Mercer's return to glory? He hasn't won a race this season. He's only been in one of them. Laguna Seca, race 5, is his big chance. Predictions?
Not really. It's I don't think this is a very predictable race, but Hamilton has finished second 3 times this season, so it might be finishing second again today.
We're about to find out. 30 minutes of racing in the Skip Barber. There's going to be 39 drivers lining up on that grid, and big thanks to everyone tuning in live, supporting the channel. We'll hope to give you some good racing courtesy of these 39 drivers. Hopefully we won't lose too many on the first lap, especially at the back of the pack. Hopefully those guys can take it nice and easy. Nick McCarron starting 38th, they're not getting a very good qualifying time in. Oh, I beg your pardon, he's slightly higher than that. And Mark Mercer, there he is, down at the front of the grid here. So what can he do? What can he do off the start? He's got the inside line, that's going to be a big advantage, Linus.
Yeah, it's a very, very long first turn here, so even if Hamilton gets up next to him, he's going to be on the outside and he's going to have a disadvantage being out there. So I think Mercer is going to get the lead of the turn 1 if he just gets away good.
Well, it's a sunny day out in California, as it always is here in the iRacing service. I don't recall ever seeing a race here in the fog, do you?
I don't think so, no.
A few drivers yet to grid up. Mercer will lead them away. Hamilton is going to be Savidovic is going to be Hamilton's going to be second. I beg your pardon. Savidovic is going to be fourth behind Richard Avery, who is on the right hand side of your picture behind the blue car, which will lead them away, which is former champion Mark Mercer. Green lights, here we go from Laguna Seca, round 5, and we've lost one of the cars. One of the cars has disappeared already off the screen. They're all going to get away, hopefully fairly cleanly down the straight. Everyone through safely so far. Where is Mark Mercer's car gone? He's going to lead them all into turn 1. Here comes Marcus Hamilton right behind, but what I'm interested in is can everybody get through this corner safely. O'Connell goes through on the outside there, and just at the back of the picture see the last few guys filtering through. Oh, a little bit of collision there. I don't know, one of those cars has slowed down a little bit. Everybody through the first few corners though, Linus, looks pretty clean.
Yeah, I had a few close calls there, but I don't think we had any contact, so it's not a good start by everybody.
Well, we've got one very slow car pulling off the edge of the track there. Try and find out who that is for you. It's Saltalamacchia, I think. Is it? Or did he even start? Some of these guys never made it to the grid. Well, Mark Mercer leads the field anyway from Marcus Hamilton. Avery third. Savidovic, what happened to Savidovic at the start? He's down to 6th place already. Why is he in 6th place? That is not a great start for Savidovic. We're on board with him now. He's got his teammate Rapstin up ahead and Clark Williams to worry about behind, but watch out for Martin Peck. In all the races we've seen, he normally comes through the field right towards the end of the race to snatch a podium finish. I'll have to see if he can live up to that reputation as we round out the first lap here. Savidovic though, surprised Linus to see him go that far down early on.
Yeah, he probably had a bad line going into turn 1, and 2 cars just made contact on the last turn. One is around going the wrong way.
Oh, Alex Gillen has made contact with somebody. Let's go back and have a look at that one on the replay. We've got a few cars off. Oh, 4 wide into the final corner. That's never going to turn out very well. And well, it looked fairly clean, and then well, someone overshot the corner there, big time. I'm not sure who that was there. It's I can't see who that was, unfortunately.
Brandon O'Brien was the guy on the inside who got turned into the gravel.
Brendan O'Brien possibly out of this race as well, but back to the front because Mercer and Hamilton have established somewhat of a lead already. They are a second and a half ahead of Avery in 3rd place, and Avery's backing up the traffic right now. Don't know if he's just warming up those tyres or what, but he needs to pick up the pace if they're going to stay on the tail of those leaders there. 4 cars, Avery, Ward, Rapstin, Savidovic going through your picture now. Savidovic is going to have some work to do, but will he work together with his teammate here, or will he be just battling just as hard to get through? Oh, a little twitch there from Rapstin. Savidovic down the inside. He's not going to make the move, so that might have answered that one, Linus. He might well hold back here.
Yeah, hopefully they've got some kind of contact during the race, talking to each other, and know who's the fastest. And the fastest car goes ahead and leads the way. Well,
these two have been in a team for quite some time now. Savidovic obviously the more successful driver, but some of that is by virtue of him being in the series for longer. Rapstin has had occasional glimmers of brilliance in this series, but otherwise fairly inconsistent. He has turned that around this season though. Commanding position in the championship, 2nd place, only to Marcus Hamilton, who is currently in 2nd place in this in the race right now, and Clark Williams being challenged by Martin Peck, holding on to 7th place for now. But I quite fancy Peck to move his way up the field. He's got a proven pedigree in this car, and Clark Williams should be worried right now, Linus.
Yeah, he's got a fast driver behind him.
Well, we'll see what Clark Williams can do. See if he can hold off Martin Peck, but it's not going to help him catch up with the guys in front, who now have a 2-second gap. So 1st through 6th separated by 3 seconds, and then 2 seconds back to 7th place Clark Williams as he approaches the corkscrew now for the 3rd time. That's Martin Peck right behind. Very clean line from Peck, and a big slide on the exit, perhaps too clean, perhaps I spoke too soon, and Peck drops back as a result, so the pressure's off.
I think Peck got hit from behind a bit going into the turn there.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if we've got a camera that might show us that. Seems undamaged, not sure. The wing seems straight anyway.
It might have just been very close then.
Antoniades is right behind him anyway, so if there was contact we did miss that unfortunately, but Peck's now got some work to do of his own. A little bit further back, Plumley is under threat from Raymond Norris, and Raymond Norris has got the inside line as they go over the start-finish line to start lap 4. Norris will take that place away from Plumley. Can Plumley do him into the braking zone? The answer's no, and he'll have to settle for 18th right now. And his teammate Steve Hefford is up to 11th right now, running a very good race. But look at this, Graham Carroll. How is that car still going, Linus? It's got no nose on it.
It's going to be very hard to drive that car, unless the downforce physics of iRacing are damaged.
Well, he's lost his nose somehow. Still going, still in a quite good position, really. Oh, and Rapstin and Savidovic. Oh, that's Tom Ward, actually. Tom Ward side by side with Rapstin as they come up to the corkscrew for the 4th time. Tom Ward's round!
Oh, no!
Tom Ward has lost it in the corkscrew. And offline, competing with Rapstin proved too much for him. Luckily, how did he miss everybody there?
Well, he had a big enough gap down to the next white check guy to get through the racing line, and then just luck, really.
On board with Tom Ward, turns the car the other way, nothing happens, the back end comes round on him, and as always it's tricky, it's downhill, that kind of thing can happen so easily. Gets it back on, and he's now running in 10th place. That's Steve Hefford right behind him, but look at the front of that car. Graham Carroll, you can see his knees from there. Unbelievable that he's still driving that car. Well, actually the nose is still intact, so the frame of the car's there, it's just the skin has come off. It's, I don't know how he's driving that, do you?
No, I think it might be a kind of connection issue though, that we're seeing different than what it actually is. But if it's not, then I don't really know how he's doing that. It shouldn't be possible.
Well, it's a possibility, I suppose. And look at this battle, 23rd place. Aaron Gearing is right behind these guys here. Dan Hunt just up in front. Oh, a little bit of collision there. That's Dan Hunt and I'm not sure who that is actually. Is that a back marker? Possibly a back marker in actual fact. Oh, and more frontal damage. Is that Aaron Gearing's car that's missing its nose as well?
Hunt's missing his nose, and Gearing just went past him, I think.
So Gearing round the outside. Hunt will hold on to the position because he's on the inside here. I don't know if it's just the colour of the nose. Maybe it's playing tricks on me. Yeah, he does have a nose. It was just
yeah, the
painted it black.
Gone.
Yeah, it's odd trick of the eye there. But Graham Carroll, as you can see, is certainly missing his nose there. Anyway, back to the front for a moment there. Mark Mercer leads. And look at this, Richard Avery, we were saying he was holding up the field, has closed up on these two. Mark Mercer and Marcus Hamilton are now engaged in a three-way battle with Richard Avery as well. Savidovic and Rapstin are nowhere to be seen. Well, they're just in the back of the picture now, so the top three... Well, could Richard Avery take this for a dramatic win, or will Mercer hold on? That's the question. Or will Hamilton take it even? Avery's showing some real pace around here. Mercer's last lap though in the 1:37s. The only one out, the only other driver doing that at the moment is Martin Peck, and we saw his slide earlier out of the corkscrew cost him a lot of time, Linus. And at best you can get a tenth of a second off these guys sometimes if you're lucky, but you can lose a couple of seconds just through mistakes.
Yeah, I think that mistake ruined his race. He's probably got a chance to get up to maybe 4th place, but unless something happens at the front, he's not going to get in the top 3.
Well, he's got a mighty challenge ahead of him. The two Wojteks are going to be putting up some fight to keep that 4th and 5th position safe, and they're two teammates as well, so if he gets in the middle of that, he's going to have that to deal with as well. 6 laps down from Laguna Seca, round 5 of the iRacing Skip Barber series here on BSR TV.
Brendan O'Brien just got turned off the back straight away.
Wow, having a look at Brendan O'Brien right now. He is just coming up the hill into the corkscrew now, running 22nd, so not the best race for him. We saw that contact earlier in the hairpin, Linus, and that hurt him quite badly.
Yeah, this time he just got a bit too far over the curb, got a wheel in the gravel and spun out. Lucky not to hit the car that was next to him.
Clark Williams and Tom Ward are now side by side. Clark Williams is down the inside. Remember, Tom Ward spun out and is recovering. Clark Williams has really dropped off the pace though, hasn't he? 5 seconds down on Dominic Brennan now. Well, he's running in the 140s, so he's 3 seconds slower than the race leader at the moment. And it's still a three-way battle out front. Richard Avery getting pretty close to the back of Marcus Hamilton's car. This might give Mark Mercer the chance to pull away. Look at Richard Avery go. He's going to try on the outside of the corkscrew. No, he's...
Rapstein just went wide there on the straight as well, ahead of Peck.
Well, so Rapstein has been overtaken by his teammate Savidovic, who is up to 4th now. Martin Peck is closing on the back of Wojtek Rapstein, so that consistency, well, he needs to maintain it for another 7 or 8 laps at least. Well, Richard Avery is on the warpath. He's harassing the back of Marcus Hamilton's car, and he's going to get a nice draft down the straight, Linus.
Yeah, let's see if he can make a move going into the turner. I think he's a bit too far back though.
Well, Hamilton will defend that inside line surely. Forces Avery down to the outside. Doesn't compromise too much on his speed, and holds on to it. Avery is going to have to find another way around, and anyone who's driven here knows it can be a difficult track to overtake on. There's not a lot of great opportunities. Into the hairpin just before the end of the circuit's probably the best opportunity on the circuit. All of these corners you're seeing now, they're not really overtaking zones because they're fast exit, so you can't get someone on the exit, you can't get someone on the entry because it's so easy to defend your line, and you'd be absolutely mad to try and overtake in turn 6, the one we're coming up to, Linus, surely.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a very good idea.
Turn 1 is a possibility as well.
Yeah, turn 1, and maybe if you're brave enough going into the corkscrew and then into the last turn as well.
Peck versus Rapstein. On the approach to the corkscrew, Peck's got the better line here. He's going to compromise some exit speed. They try and go through too wide, almost touch. Rapstein has to tuck it back in at the last minute. And Peck had to just keep his fingers crossed that Rapstein knew what he was doing there, and that was incredibly close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was not far away from getting to the gravel there for Peck.
This is a view from the rear of Martin Peck's car. He's up to 5th place again. Oh, not again, but he's up to 5th place. Almost got a gearbox full of the nose of Rapstein's car there. Rapstein
Peck has dropped back 3 seconds now. They're getting past Rapstein, so he's got pretty much work to do now. Sorry, 4 seconds even.
And Rapstein forcing himself down the inside here. Peck doesn't defend, which is surprising. And Peck won't be able to follow him around the outside. Has to give up that position again. And I thought he gave that up quite easily.
He didn't put up much of a fight at all. Maybe he's got some kind of problem if they made contact during the corkscrew, I don't know.
Well, or maybe he wasn't expecting the move from Rapstein quite so soon. Rapstein's back past him. This is a great scrap that's emerged here. And we were right at the front of the field. Look at that, Mark Mercer has pulled out a little bit of a gap because of the scrap going on between Hamilton and Avery just behind. Let's bring up those top 10 positions on your screen right now.
Peck is coming back now. Oh, he backed out again. He had a look up the inside, but he decided to stay behind.
Kicking up the gravel there, Rapstein's right side tyres. Keeps it under control, and Peck will just sit tight now until he gets another clear-cut opportunity. He's not one to dive in and take every opportunity he comes across, no matter how slim. Oh, Tom Ward and Graham Carroll. Side by side, Tom Ward down the ins. He's going to be looking at that car thinking, where's the rest of it gone? There's going to be a massive piece of bodywork somewhere on this circuit. Graham Carroll with a slowdown. He cut the corkscrew just a little bit too much there, and it's going to cost him. He was in the top 10 and he's dropped 2 positions there. Clive Armstrong and Tom Ward are through. So Tom Ward recovering after a forgettable race for him so far. He is up to 3rd in the championship, don't forget. But it's going to cost him some points here, Linus.
Yeah, he would have needed a much better finish than this if the two score enough points to stay up there.
And Jamie Bird slips past Steve Hefford, and Steve Hefford now down to 15th place, doing extremely well to get up to the position he was in before, but shedding a few places now. He's got 4 seconds back to Raymond Norris, and there's battles still going on all over the field here. Martin Peck is still on the back of Rapstein's car. Peck's not going to be able to find a way around until the hairpin though, surely, unless there's a mistake from Rapstein. We're 2/3 of the way through this race, coming onto the GoPro bridge, turn 6 right now. Let's see what Rapstein's line's like here. He's been very wide, again picks up some dust there. The line from Peck is a lot cleaner, but you have to say at this stage that it's not really doing him any favours.
He needs to get up the back of Rapstein again and get past him and pull away, but he's almost 6 seconds behind 4th place now, so 5th is as far as he's going to get.
Oh, and a challenge for the lead here. Hamilton around the outside of the hairpin. Avery's right behind as well. Mercer had the inside line, will defend that, but these 3 guys, we're sticking with these guys for now. Look at Avery, looking left, looking right. He's going to have to go around the outside. Mercer's going to defend the inside line here as Hamilton's forced to the outside. Avery's braking zone is going to be compromised. And, oh, Hamilton's gone wide. That's going to let Avery through. Avery into 2nd place. And it was always going to be one of those guys losing out. They were so close, Linus.
Yeah, it was a poor decision by Hamilton to move to the outside, but maybe he just braked too late and had to not run into the back of Mercer.
An outside overtake at turn 1 here at Laguna Seca is so difficult. Really difficult, and didn't pay off for him. These 3 cars, it's almost like one big 12-wheeled Skip Barber. They're so close together. And what the 2 guys in 2nd and 3rd don't want to do is fight it out too much amongst themselves, because that's going to let Mark Mercer get away again. Although, interestingly, must have been a mistake from Mercer on the previous lap, because he was half a second down on these guys, which let them catch up. Side by side now, Marcus Hamilton. He's got the inside line on the corkscrew, looks to take 2nd back. He's done it. He's through. There's Richard Avery. After stealing 2nd, well, Marcus Hamilton will be breathing a sigh of relief, won't he, after that mistake?
Yeah, he wasn't really expecting him to go on the inside there in turn 1, I think, and getting that position back right away was crucial for him, as he can get back to work on 1st place now.
I almost don't want to take our eyes off this one, but look at this. Steve Hefford back past Jamie Bird into 14th place. We'd written him off, but he's making a comeback now. He's a long way behind Ashley Blakely, who is 8 seconds down the road, but this fight still very much alive. So Hefford Team Castrol is in 14th place. And 3 laps to go. Mercer is hanging on for dear life here. He's held the lead all the way through this race, and he's very good at this, commanding the race from start to finish when he gets that pole position. But one tiny mistake and that could cost him 2 places, not just 1, 2 places, and put him down to 3rd place. And he needs all the championship points he can get if he's back in this championship, having only participated in 1 of the 4 races up to this point. But you were right when you said at the start it's going to be too close to call. I think it is, even at this stage. But one of those 3 guys should surely win.
Yeah, I think if they don't take each other out, one of them are surely gonna win this. But Wojciech Svidovic is sitting back there. We can't forget about him. About 1 second back. So if something happens, he's gonna be right in there.
Well, Avery was up the outside of Hamilton, and look how much these guys are closing up now. Svidovic is right on the back of these guys, and that is because they're scrapping it out. Mercer's got away with it again. He's now got a 1 second advantage. And Richard Avery needs to get the job done quickly. He's already fallen into the clutches, and now it's a 3-way battle between 2nd and 4th here. Well, this is going to be close. Svidovic is going to be forced around the outside this time, and the last time we saw 3 cars go into this turn 1, it was so close. Oh, contact! Avery hasn't seen Svidovic. Pushed him out wide there. And a bit of situational unawareness from Richard Avery there almost cost Svidovic the race, Linus.
Yeah, lucky not to get a bigger crash than just a little bit off track there. It could have been a lot worse.
And that back marker is now getting out of the way. But let's go back and have another look at that one from the point of view of Svidovic, because that was a heart and mouth moment, surely. Avery just comes across the track. They touch wheels. Now, if they touched the front and back of the wheels together, that would have been a very different story. But they touched the side of the wheels, and they seem to have got away with it.
Yeah, I think what he tried to do was brake later than Hamilton and get up the outside, and didn't realise Wojciech was there.
So Svidovic holds on. He won't be best pleased with that contact from Richard Avery, but both drivers survive. And Svidovic slow in, fast out through the corkscrew has paid dividends in this race so far. Hamilton 2nd, Avery 3rd. Svidovic gets such a good run out of that last corner. He can't make an opportunity here. Avery's back end is sliding all over the place. Hamilton's on the gravel. He's in the kitty litter for one of those corners, and that's going to cost him. Avery really letting the back of that Skip Barber hang out, and that's got to be a driving style that compromises some speediness.
Yeah, you need to have a very clean exit of the turn to get good speed down the straight. Avery looking to the outside here.
Well, where's Svidovic? That's the question. Oh, a little bump there, and Hamilton holds on to 2nd. Svidovic is through down the inside, and once again we see a driver taking the outside line, looking to gain and losing out. Oh, too wide. Avery's not given up on this one yet. Oh, Richard Avery. Oh, he's not got Hamilton, surely. Svidovic 2 places. Oh, and Hamilton's gone wide. Hamilton's off the circuit. Can he keep it?
Hamilton's lost his front wing, I think.
Oh, just kept it under control. What a fantastic series of corners. Wow, Svidovic absolutely dominating there. I mean, that was some incredible driving. Let's go back and have a look at that one from Svidovic. He's in 4th position here. Don't forget. He's down the inside of Avery here, who I think and there's a little bump. A little bit of damage on the rear of Hamilton's car there. Svidovic has possibly lost his front wing. Doesn't matter at this stage. Now I'm wondering if there's aero damage on Hamilton's car.
Hamilton ran over one of the red bumps on the inside of a left-hander and lost the front wing.
Well, we gave the credit to Svidovic for some great driving. I'm wondering, not to discredit him at all, but I'm wondering if Marcus Hamilton might not have... oh, and he's in all sorts of trouble. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with that car. He's really struggling. There's no time to pit now. He's got to keep it on the track for as long as possible. He's been passed by Rapstin. Now, where's Martin Peck? Because we come on to the last lap here. Well, that back marker doing a great job of getting out of the way. Martin Peck is down the inside of Marcus Hamilton, possibly unaware that his car's damaged. Heck will take that position. Dominic Brennan's coming as well. Well, Hamilton's just getting out of the way now. He knows, doesn't he? Oh, collision!
Big contact.
Oh, Hamilton has collided with Antoniades. Well, let's go back and have another look at that one on the replay. Now that was tight. That was extremely tight there.
He's lucky to get out of that, Hamilton. Could have been a lot worse.
Wow. That's a difficult one to call, that. Let's go back and have a look at that one from Hamilton's point of view. So Hamilton going around the outside of the corner deliberately there. And then, well, possibly just too wide from Antoniades there. I'm not sure. Difficult one to call. What do you make of that?
I'm gonna watch it back. I'm watching the battle for second place here at the moment, going down to corkscrew. Swiderowicz had a bad exit.
Well, Savidovic, who's been so good on the exit of the corkscrew, is under pressure now. Mercer surely has sealed the deal now. Savidovic from somewhere, after a terrible start, will claim the second podium position. Oh, Willie's gone very wide. Coming into the last corner now. Avery's got every chance to take him on the exit. Watch out. Here comes Richard Avery. Over the line. Mark Mercer takes Laguna Seca. Savidovic will hold on just about. Avery third. Rapstin will come home fourth, just ahead of Martin Peck and Dominic Brennan. Clark Williams is going to be seventh. Hamilton holds on for eighth, but at the cost of Antoniades. Tom Ward moves back up to ninth. Antoniades can only manage 10th. I'd love to know what those two drivers make of that particular incident. I really would. It looked like Antoniades just drifted a little bit wide on the exit there. Well, let's get some positions up on your screen right now. They are the top 10 positions. Mark Mercer wins. A fantastic race, really. He commanded the entire race. There was one shaky moment. And really a flawless drive otherwise. Savidovic with a terrible start. Made it good in the end. Came back to finish 4 seconds behind. Richard Avery just behind as well. But the big loser out of all that is Marcus Hamilton. And it did look to me, Linus, like the collision, as Savidovic just gently touched the back of Hamilton's car, might have done enough damage to put Hamilton down the order.
Yeah, he was going on pretty strongly without the front wing, but his rear wing got damaged from that contact as well, and I think that's what messed him up.
And more than that, if there was any kind of suspension damage there, we saw the very next corner that he really struggled to get round that corner, hit the anti-cut, the red knobble on the inside there. That pushed him out wide and gave the position to Savidovic, who gladly gobbled up second position. Well, we don't often get to talk to Marcus on the show. I doubt this will be any different today, but I'd sure like to know what's happening there. Dominic Brennan, great result for him. Really good to see him back in the top 6 there. Graham Carroll, despite missing half his car, brought it home in 12th place, and the rest of the results down to 20th place are on your screen now. More points for Alan Patterson. Robert Plumley unable to finish inside the top 20, so he misses out on points. Only just. Well, let's see if we can have a quick word with Steve Hefford, because the one thing that really impressed us today was the driving of Steve Hefford. Up to a really good position there, Steve. Great result in the end.
Yeah, it should have been a lot better, to be honest. I spun it all on my own with a couple of laps to go and got some really bad damage. Got a black flag, so I just managed to limp round for the last 2 laps.
What was your secret to getting so high up the order early on?
To be honest, I've been putting in a lot of practice this week, and I was quite fast at this track, but I was a second off my pace going into qualifying, so I should have been a lot higher up. Had a good start. I think I made about 6 places up on the first lap, and then it was quite easy from there on in, really, to be honest.
And you had a great battle with Jamie Bird, who got past you, and then you got past him, and was that the high point of the race?
Yeah, it was good fun. Really enjoyed that. Some good close racing in this, and a lot of respect from everybody, really.
And Robert Plumley, who often out finishes you in these races, actually finished behind you outside the points, so I'm sure you'll relish in pointing that out to him after the race.
Me? No, never.
Well, great result, Steve Hefford of Team Castrol. and hope to see more like that.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers, pal.
That's Steve Hefford there. Let's see if we can get a quick word with Martin Peck as well, the stealth assassin. I'm not sure if we can actually get a word with him. We'll have a look, see what we can do. Maybe we can get him in here. But overall, Linus, great result for a lot of these drivers. Good to see Martin Peck back in the action as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's had a pretty good race. Would have probably liked to finish higher up than he did, but considering all that happened today, I think he's going to be happy with that.
Well, Martin Peck is back in action. Good to see you back in the action, Martin. Long time.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Great race.
Good to see
as
you
always.
Good to see you back in the action too. That's been a little while.
Yeah,
Welcome
it has.
back.
Yeah, thank you. Not used to being welcomed, but yeah, no, it's good to be back. I've missed a couple of these, and we had some broadcast issues last week with some sound, which we sincerely apologise for. We had no sound on the commentary last week, but never mind. And what's kept you away, Martin? Because you're a thrill to watch.
Just real life is a bit of an arse. And I was living in Zurich. I don't know whether you're aware, and we've just moved to London. So the last 3 weeks has been a lot of sorting out, daily grind. And sadly, I even have to go back to work, so I could be struggling a little bit.
That is sad news indeed, but I bet
to be competitive. But we'll see what we can do. I hopefully just keep my hand in by showing up and doing what I can.
well, I bet one of the first things you thought when you got to London was, "Where's my steering wheel?" Right?
Absolutely, but it's not, unfortunately, the first thing my wife thought.
No, it's never the case, is it? It's a shame, but you did pull out the stealth assassin move towards the end and got quite high up the order, up to 5th place. Were you aware Marcus had some damage?
Yeah, I could see that on his wing. I actually, at the time that he rejoined in front of me, I had no clue who it was. I was like, who the hell is this coming on and getting in the way? And then, yeah, once I was alongside and had a quick look down,
And you
it was
managed to get that
quite
position.
clear what was going on. Yeah, and his back wing was a bit out of shape. So I had the side draft in any case. So that was obviously going to be quite a safe move up alongside him. But I didn't follow what happened after that.
So we can hope to see you in quite a few of these races in the season. Obviously, moving up through the championship as a result of these great finishes. Where can you realistically hope to finish at the end of the season?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's so competitive. Obviously, lots of new faces, but people are still going quick. So I think top 5 is what I'm pretty happy with after sort of 30 minutes practice. So if I can keep that up and perhaps top 5 by the end, but that'll be a push.
Well, one final question for you, Martin. You were doing skip Barber instruction for a while, and is that something that you're still doing?
But real life, I'm afraid, is probably going to push that down the pecking order, so to speak. But it had a terrific run. I had about a dozen guys who I was working with. Really fantastic progress over the time that I was sort of providing that coaching. So it was a lot of fun, and actually, what I'm pleased with is it's given me quite a lot of information which I'm able to feed back into the community.
Well, we've got some
I'm able to give.
audio issues there, I think, Martin. You're cutting in and out, unfortunately. So I think we'll leave it there. But thanks for talking to us, and congratulations again, 5th place.
Thanks, Chris. See you later.
And that's Martin Peck there, and well, bit of a surprise at the end, Linus, but business as usual for the top guys, including Mercer. Hamilton would be left disappointed, though.
Yeah, he's going to be very disappointed. He was really looking to get that win today, but for the standings, I think this is going to be a very good result, as he had pulled out a pretty big lead. He's going to give everyone a bit better chance to get back up there now.
And it will close everything up a little bit. Tom Ward missing out, finishing 10th. Hamilton missing out, finishing 6th. The Racing Game Show guys, though, 2nd and 4th. So they'll be moving up. And watch out for Richard Avery. He gained 8 places in the championship last race, and will gain even more. Well, I wouldn't say gain 8 more places, but he'll gain even more points this time round. And it's going to be fascinating to see what happens when we return next week. So Skip Barber's Mondays here on BSR TV, 8:40 PM. You can watch live, you can watch recorded, whatever you fancy. We don't mind. If you want to check in live, you can always leave us a nice comment in the comment section. If not, just leave one afterwards. And tomorrow, the GT Sprint Cup returns, and you'll be out there on the circuit, Linus.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I'm currently sitting, I think, 4th in the championship, even though I don't feel like I'm having pace. But reverse top 20 grid for the second race and Mount Panorama, so it's gonna be a very interesting race.
Well, good luck out there on the mountain, and that will be live from 8:15 PM UK time tomorrow, Tuesdays, GT Sprint Cup, and Thursdays, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, as it's now called, will return. Same time, 8:15 UK time. Hope you can join us for that one. You get 3 races for the price of 1 on a Thursday, so 3 different disciplines to look forward to here on BSR TV. That was round 5, round 6 next week. But for now, thanks very much for watching. From me and Linus, we'll see you next time.